dear fellow suicide loss survivor, if you've ever looked at yourself after your loss and wondered, who the hell am I? Then this message is for you. Welcome. I'm so honored you're here with me today, because today we normalize identity confusion, identity negotiation, and everything identity related, really. Because after suicide loss, let's face it, lots can change, right? Our beliefs can change. What used to be important, can change. What has become important can change. Relationships can change. The way we think can change. Our routines can change, certainly. So everything is liable to change. And sometimes we just fight those changes because we think, well, I gotta, people expect me to be who I was, right? So I gotta perform. I gotta be my past self, right? So the thing is, for example, music might have meant entertainment to you in the past. Now it might just be medicine, might be connection, might be healing, right? That might have changed. There's nothing wrong with that, right? You may have, maybe you didn't have boundaries before about your time or your energy, and now you're actually protecting your energy because you know that it matters so much to your healing and the way you feel day to day, right? So that's okay. Right? Nothing wrong with accepting these changes and letting people know, hey, this is how I see things now, right? But if you're struggling with, staying who you were, instead of asking yourself, start with awareness. Always start with awareness, right? What do I still identify with, right? What part of me is still me that I want to carry forward, right? And it might be different things for you, but for me, for example, it's always been music, right? I've always been very musical. I don't want to stop being musical. I want to carry that forward with me into who I'm becoming, right? But also ask yourself, what has changed? What is different now, right? I used to place achievement as a top priority above connection, above everything else. Achieve, 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 achieve. And that changed, right, with grief. It made me realize, what? Achievement doesn't matter anymore to me as much as connection does. So connection became more important than achievement, right? And that's discovering who I'm becoming. It's allowing not having to perform and remain the same for everybody, right? Or for myself, just because I feel, wow, I'm losing myself, right? Who am I? Right? And having to stick with the old stories and, the old ways of thinking and of being that are no longer supportive after our loss, right? So always start with awareness and ask yourself, who am I still? What am I still interested in? What is still important for me? Do I want to carry these things forward or not? What has suddenly become important for me that maybe wasn't as prioritized before, right? Do I want to carry that forward into who I'm becoming or not? Why is it important for me? Right? And once you've answered these questions and become really aware, right? It's not about being one or the other. It's not about being your past self or your new self. It's about merging both in a way that is supportive and healing for you, right? So after awareness comes discernment and making decisions about what am I choosing to carry forward, right? And how am I integrating my soul angel or angels into the mix, right? For example, is there a certain song that I want to carry forward that connects me with them? Is there a certain phrase or way of thinking or way of being that I want to carry forward with me on my journey that connects me with them, right? And helps me become who I'm becoming. And helps me be okay with who I'm becoming, as opposed to resisting it, right? Just for everybody else, because I need to perform my past self, right? Which has blocked my progress for so long, right? The need or the perception of the need to have to stay the same, right? It's okay to change. It's okay to evolve, right? We don't have to find that forever. And after discernment and choosing what you'll carry forward, what you won't carry forward, comes integration, right? So how can I live the healing? That's basically what it means. Integration just simply means I live the healing. So how can I be more of who I'm becoming every day as opposed to performing who I was, right? What feels safer now? What can my nervous system handle today? As opposed to, for example, I used to put in 12 plus hours, right? Achieving every single day. And I was trying to hold on to that and not change and still be the guy who puts in 12 plus hours per day because that's who I was, right? Before loss. And I tried to keep that up for years, right? And was burning out and was not happy and was actually very unproductive. So the moment I realized, wait a minute, I'm clinging on to who I was. That's clearly not who I am anymore, right? Who I am now is somebody who loves connection above achievement. Doesn't mean I don't achieve anymore, right? I carried part of my achievement self forward, but I also integrated the fact that I have a connection part within me that's very important and prioritized now. That means I don't place achievement above everything else, right? There's a balance that got created. And as a result, I felt less and less stuck because I wasn't clinging on to who I used to be, right? For everybody else, but also for myself, because I thought that that's what I needed to embody, right? My past self. Clearly, we're no longer the same, right? So if ever you're wondering again, who am I becoming? Who the hell have I become? And you don't recognize yourself, always start with awareness, right? What's important for me now might be totally different from what was important for me before. And integrate that to carry forward as best you can with your soul angel or angels. So my dear fellow suicide loss survivor, I say this with all my heart. Please take good care of yourself. And of course, may you be filled with music and heal.